Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, week 3 recap, man. But the title. I'm gonna tell you the title of the video. Title of the video gonna be Georgia is way better than people. Georgia way better than y'all think. And Georgia's got disrespected all season, man. We ain't gonna speak on that though. We gonna let it play out. Still early in the season. But Georgia's by far looking like the best team right now. That's already known. But it's just the fact that Georgia, like, it's a rinse and repeat. Every time Georgia plays somebody, it's like, they got a chance to lose. Like last year, they're like, they're gonna lose Arkansas. Or Georgia gonna lose Clemson. That beat Clemson. Or like, okay, Clemson ain't no good. Georgia gonna lose to the 7th-ranked Arkansas. No, Arkansas 37-0. No, Arkansas ain't no good. Arkansas, rinse and repeat. They ain't playing no offense like Florida yet. They gonna lose Florida. You feel me? Rinse and repeat. That's how they did this year. Like I'm start off. Play Oregon. 48-3 them. Oregon don't even deserve to be in top 25. But not even fact that Georgia would have did at the most that every team. Georgia would have beat every team, not in Alabama by 20. And if you look at Alabama, when we play Alabama, we can always get the best out of Alabama. So I ain't gonna say we're gonna beat Alabama by 20. We somehow, some way, Alabama always play their best. Alabama could be 0-12. They play Georgia. It's like, they turn to 12-0. That's how it be either way. So I'm gonna start off with this recap. Oregon, people like, Oregon this, Oregon that. The next week, they beat their team. They dominated their team. I forgot who it was. They'll come back to me after the video. But either way, they dominate them. Then fast forward, BYU, they beat Baylor. And now, fast forward, Oregon was beating BYU like 38-7. They was dominating BYU 38-7. Ole Miss played a good game past 2 weeks. I don't know if he keep it up. Hopefully he can. And then it's like, Oregon this, Oregon that. Oregon don't deserve to be in top 25. Oregon this, Oregon was not the 15th ranked team or 12th ranked team. Now I think they 15th right now. They're back in the top 15. They're like, Oregon this, Oregon was horrible. But it's just Georgia's that good. Like, Georgia's just that good. And you can say what you want, and whether you admit it or not. What team? Tell me who has a better resume than Georgia? What top 10 team has a better resume than Georgia? You can talk about it, schedule-wise. Michigan, who they played? Michigan hasn't played nobody yet. All their teams been the worst teams. UConn been the worst team. Then Hawaii, horrible. Like, come on now. Who has Michigan played? Nobody. Alabama played Texas, ULM, and Utah State. Texas, kind of has a good win. At Texas, okay. Ohio State, horrible Notre Dame team. Notre Dame, they got top 10 talent, but clearly they team not that good. They should have lost it. They had a skill versus California. Either way, okay, Notre Dame top 25 team, I guess. You can say. But Notre Dame, should have got blown out by Ohio State. And they would have got blown out by Georgia. For sure. Okay, fast forward, Alabama. I already said Alabama. Like I said, Ohio State played Notre Dame. With Toledo, they dominated Toledo. I'm getting that, but then who else? I think Arkansas State. I think can't remember. Some sorry team, So, and then who else? Let's see. The main teams. Georgia played Oregon, who turned out looking better now, back in the top 15, and just had to play Georgia the first game of the season in Atlanta. Like I said, Georgia did every team like that beside Alabama. I ain't saying we were a 48-3 Ohio State, but I still feel like the way Ohio State played versus Notre Dame, they would have beat them by 20 in Atlanta. Simple. Call it how it is. Whether you like it or not. But either way, so tell me, Georgia just way better than y'all expected, and I called this out. I get on saying, y'all get on saying, oh, Georgia lost this, Georgia lost that. I was like, this year Georgia team could be all around better than last year Georgia team, and people called me crazy. People called me the delusional Georgia fan, and it's like you have to look at how the season actually went. Like I said, as the year go on, I'm gonna mention that, but this title of the video is Georgia way better than people expected. And Oregon got disrespected. Oregon got 40-3, and people just blew them off the map. They were just horrible. You feel me? But Oregon better than y'all think. Either way. So Alabama, they dominate ULM. Jermaine Burton still not getting the ball. I'm gonna make a rant about him. I ain't did it yet. Versus Texas. I was gonna do it at the Texas game, but I ain't do it. So I'm gonna let the season play out. Maybe they get him involved more or whatever. I don't know. If he don't do nothing by week 6, if he don't have 500 receiving yards by week 6, then I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a rant. But either way, Ohio State, like I say, they dominated Toledo 7-21. Good win. That's what you're supposed to do. So good win for them. Denzel Burke got a little slump right now. I don't know. Maybe he turned around. Penn State, Auburn. Penn State dominates Auburn. Auburn is horrible. Like they O-line, they O-line is horrible. And sad to say, Robbie Ashford is probably the best fit right now. Cause TJ Finley, he's not 6'7" and 250. He ain't gonna hit. He can run, but he's not quick like Robbie Ashford. And TJ Finley, I don't know, maybe Penn State D-line that good. Their D-line is nasty. They front four nasty. But by the time he was hiking the ball, Penn State was in his face. And it was and a good win. I ain't taking nothing away from Penn State. Good win. At Auburn was very live. Start the game. Sean Cliff was Sean Cliff. He's still who he is. I don't. He's not a good quarterback. I ain't gonna say he ain't a good quarterback, but he ain't a quarterback that gonna make the playoffs. Their defense pretty good though. I guess we gonna see. But Brian Harsin probably gonna get fired this year. I don't. They already wanted him gone last year, and them can beat 41-12 in front of all them fans against a Big Ten team, Penn State. We're probably gonna go 8-4 this year, and Auburn probably gonna go 5-7. If we being real, Auburn might not make a bowl game this year. Cause tell me who they gonna who? As of right now, who really they gonna beat? Ole Miss. They looking good. Alabama, at Alabama, Georgia, at Georgia, LSU. They looking better. They beat Mississippi State. Mississippi State, they returning most of their team. Arkansas. Speaking of, we're gonna get on Arkansas. Arkansas. Who? They gonna probably Brian Harsin probably not gonna make it. He not gonna make it. I ain't gonna say he make it, but I'm gonna Arkansas. Auburn probably not gonna make a bowl game this year. Maybe they go 6-6. I don't know. But nonetheless, speaking of Arkansas scared me. I'm about to be disappointed in Arkansas. They played Missouri State and it was getting beat 17-7. And then they pulled late in the fourth quarter. I figured they gonna win it. But they was scaring me though. I eventually they gonna turn around. They gotta do it late. Cause like I said, you can't those gimme games, bro. You can't lose a gimme game. I know the game gotta be played, but when you in the SEC, you can't lose games like Texas A&M lost to Appy State. You can't lose those games with the SEC schedule. But really any team, but those games like that, you gotta win. Cause just being real, man. But Michigan, they dominate UConn, as they should. We gonna see how Michigan. They schedule. Michigan's schedule is horrible. They might make playoffs. Depending on how good Penn State actually is. But they get Penn State at home. So it's none of the teams they play is good. Iowa horrible, Indiana horrible, or maybe Maryland is good. I don't know. But either way, Florida Gators. Y'all about to disappoint me. I thought I had to make a comeback win versus USF. I think Gary Bohannon, man, he made try to do too much with the ball, throw a late interception, and then Florida just capitalized on it. Travis Etienne, I'm gonna make a video about him probably. The dude gonna be this G, like dude, true friendly, and he's what the fans want. Like he's what the fans want running that ball. You feel me? But none of it. I'm trying to think about it more. I'm trying to make the video too long. It's already 11 minutes long. I'm trying to think of the main teams. Tennessee. They obliterated Akron. Good win for them. And they look, as they should. Like I say, Arkansas. Not Arkansas, but Kentucky. They dominate Youngstown State as they should. South Carolina or Georgia. Speaking of Georgia, I'm in off with Georgia. I think. I'm trying. USC. USC. They dominate. USC. It's still early. But USC looking good right now. Caleb Williams looking. He might win a Heisman. It looking like Bryce Young don't get together. That's their Stroud. The dude might win a Heisman. But trying to think of the other main teams. That's worth talking about. Trying to think. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go to Georgia for it. Georgia. South Carolina. Like I said, I wish we would have played South Carolina main team healthy. Georgia did what they have. Georgia did what they're supposed to do. David Daniel, he keep on getting these late touchdowns. He got to stop that. He did last year versus Michigan. Michigan was supposed to go. But South Carolina wasn't supposed to go. Either way, none of that. Stetson Bennett did his thing. Dude was throwing up on the sideline, drunk too much water. Like I said, what scared me the most is Eric Gilbert. I don't know what dude got going on. Dude basically playing in the fourth quarter. Eric Gilbert. I was very high on him in the offseason, but he ain't playing yet, so the verdict's still on him. But dude was supposed to have 100 receiving yards by 9, 2 touchdowns. Dude, Oscar Delp scored a touchdown before he did, and then take him none away from Oscar Delp. But Eric Gilbert should at least have, 150 to 100 yards and a touchdown right now. Dylan Bill scored a touchdown before he did. And he didn't travel versus South Carolina. That's what scared me. He didn't even travel to the game. But I wish Cam Smith would have played. That would have been a good matchup. Cam Smith versus Donnie Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell didn't play, so it was tough. But Brock Bowers, he's still showing he the best tight end in college football, man. Dude, like I said, dude would probably be a top 10 pick right now if he was draft eligible, but he's not. South Carolina defense. Jordan Burch, man, he 5-star. He's the top 15 player in the class, ranked composite. Dude ain't playing like it. Maybe you get to turn up. But I'm gonna get that. Northwestern is horrible. Northwestern horrible. Michigan State got embarrassed by Washington. Big Ten is just horrible right now. Big Ten West is horrible right now. Big Ten. Either way, I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna get back to it. Like I was saying, Georgia did what they're supposed to do. Stats. It's hard to get stats at Georgia, man. When Georgia, like I said, Georgia dominate. It's hard to get stats, man, because it's Georgia already plays 7 to 8 wide receivers, 3 to 4 tight ends, and by the time you get going, the score's 24 to 0 already. Then it's then the starters get taken out of the game, so it's hard. Like I said, Carson Beck, he had a good touchdown to Oscar Delp, so like I said, if we get Kent State this week, or next week I should say, depending on when you're watching this video. So Georgia, Georgia get good games, good making good depth, great depth, man. That's why I like it. Like, we getting great depth. That's why I'm trying to tell people this offseason. Like, if you look at games, a lot of these games was blowouts. So, you don't think the backups didn't get a lot of playing time for this season? And like I said, I made a video, and people finally seeing my video now. You know, two or three people come in. You know, I made a video about Malachi Starks like a week or two before the season. I said he was gonna be one of the best players this year, and a top, 360 going into 2023 season. And it's looking like it right now if he stay healthy. That interception versus Spencer Rattler, But nonetheless, like I said, Georgia looking good, and like the wide receivers, like I said, I feel bad for them because it's like by the time Georgia gets going, the game is a blowout, and then they get taken out of the game for some players I don't even hear, like Cash Jones. I hear still for him. Cash Jones is like our 10th string running back, and he's still for him South Carolina players. Like, you feel me? And it's hard because those 30 to 40 yards he getting could be added on to Kenny McIntosh and Kenny Milton, Dejan Ellis yards. So it's hard to get stats at. I'm spinning, bro. It's hard to get stats at Georgia, man, because they dominate. They doing what they're supposed to do, or what no one team is supposed to do. And the same thing this year that happened last year. And people talking about they ain't have no stats, but that's just the verdict of it, man. Like, they handling business, and you dominate, then they get taken out of the game. But like 30 receiving yards and 3 catches, they get taken out of the game. And then playing 7, 8 wide receivers don't make it no better. Because either way, the season's gonna still go home. Maybe we're gonna probably beat Kent State 55-0. You know what it is. But hey, like I said, man, hey, Georgia, Mikael Williams, man, looking like a monster. Like Samara Money, playing good. Like I said, Georgia is making depth on depth on depth. Like, and there's gonna be another depth game versus Kent State. So it's like just keep on reloading. And like I said, I'll make a video about it. Zach Smith, he finally agrees with me. He admit he wrong. I'm gonna go more in depth about it. Probably about week 5, week 6. But either way, Georgia building depth. Like, think about it, Mike. Like, look at all these players that's playing in these past 3 games. Like, ain't gonna be no red shirt for most of these players. Most of these true freshmen, it's not gonna be no red shirt. Like, they gonna play. Like, Branson Robinson played 3 games. Marvin Jones Jr. played all 3 games. Mikael Williams, of course, he's not red shirt. Darius Smith, he probably not gonna red shirt. He played all 3 games. Jalen Walker played all 3 games. Christian Miller, like, all these dudes not gonna be the red shirt because they playing now, like, because Georgia handling business. And that's what I'm telling y'all last offseason. Like, Georgia didn't lose as much as y'all think. Like Georgia was blowing teams out, which a lot of the players got to play. And like Dalen Everett, he looking like I don't know what Nyland Green got going on. Like, Nyland Green, like, I don't know if he's going to the transfer portal or what. But Dalen Everett, maybe, he. Maybe Nyland Green moved to safety, but right now, like Dalen Everett, like, he dude balling. Like, Dalen Everett looking like, the next starter, alongside Kamar Lassiter next year. Kamar Lassiter make it, no glove, Kamar. The dude got no gloves on. I ain't know, like, dude out here looking like a 19s or 80 cornerback out here, like a night train lane. No gloves on, Kamar Lassiter, but dude doing his thing. Hopefully he can continue to get better. Keely Ringo gotta get better. He ain't really got thrown that much too. But like, I ain't gonna, like, I'm gonna get more in depth about him. Against more teams that pass the ball. It look like Malachi Starks looking good, man. Dude looking like, like I said, dude looking like, I feel like he could clamp up any wide receiver right now, or anybody. It's still early in the season, but Malachi Starks, like, dude could just do it all, man. Like, the fluid hips can move, stop on a dime, jumping out the gym. Dude got like a 41-inch vertical. Like, dude legit got like a 41-inch vertical, 40-inch vertical. I mean, dude played every position except O-lineman, it seemed like, in high school. So he dude intelligent. Like, I ain't trying to, ride him like that. But it's just, dude just looking good right now. I mean, I say he like Derek Stingley. Like I said, I told y'all, I was like, he was gonna have an impact like Derek Stingley had in 2019 as a true freshman. And like, if he switched to cornerback, which I feel like he could play better at cornerback, dude might be a top 3 pick. I mean, like I said, if football-wise, talent-wise, and I don't know, like, on-field issues and just, staying healthy and all that. The video 21 minutes long, I said I won't make it. But you feel me? But either way, like, dude legit, right now. And like I said, all these players playing, Jaheim Singletary, Julian Humphrey, all these dudes playing 3 games already. And it's like just depth from depth, man. Over Tyke Smith, he should be back, in a major role now. Week 4, he should be back versus Kent State. He been getting mop up duty. He's off ACL injury. So Georgia's only gonna get better, man. And it's like, I know Alabama gonna get better. They wide receivers, they struggling right now. So I know Nick Saban gonna get them right. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man. Like, is Georgia really is Georgia just really like that good? Like I said, I don't know. Maybe come here. I mean, it ain't even been a homer right now. It's just like when you look at if Oregon would have lost to BYU, then I'll be like, okay, maybe Oregon just wasn't that good. South Carolina did lose. Arkansas, okay. But Oregon handled business. Like, they was beating BYU 38-7, and the BYU just was handling business versus Baylor. So it's like, man, like, and Georgia, like, Stetson been out here breaking ankles. He broke a South Carolina D lineman ankles. And like, Georgia, he ain't even playing 4 quarters. Like, dude playing 3 quarters and done for the day. And along with most of the starters. But hey, I'm out, man. I'm finna get some game on chest day, the best day. But yeah, let me know what y'all think.